You do not need millions of monthly listeners to be a good band, and a lot of people should know that. It is difficult trying to find new bands all the time, especially nowadays in the underground. Whether you go on Spotify playlists or Apple Music, or if you just go on Twitter, or if you go on Instagram or TikTok, I do try my best to find a bunch of bands, and here are some underground bands worth your time. And whenever I try to make one of these videos, I do want to try to put a little bit of variety on it, and I know I'm kind of the guy that talks a lot about this new shoegaze wave, new gaze, I guess, that's coming about within our generation. And I'm not gonna lie, there are some shoegaze bands in here and some of that mainstream sounding stuff. So yeah, please like and subscribe. That would help out a lot. And I'm sorry Alexa's not in this video, but she will be in the future video. We were supposed to do a video today, but she feels like she didn't really do enough research and she wants to give you guys a good video and good knowledge. So shout out Alexa, and tomorrow we're going to do a subgenre spotlight video. Enough of the yapping though, enough talking about all that. Let's get into the bands, and the first band on my list is Salt Plus. They have an album from 2022 called 444 Heaven Tracks, I believe is how you pronounce it, and that album is a little bit more like hyper pop, techno, beat dropping, video game sounding, but their recent stuff is a little bit more of that modern shoegaze that I was talking about earlier, and they completely rock. I think they have a lot of potential, and just from hearing the variety in their sound, it would be kind of cool if they mixed up the two sounds that they do have from their 2022 album and their latest shoegaze stuff. But yeah, it would be interesting to see what they come up with moving forward. I'm sure they will evolve and probably get bored of their sound and do something else. And I don't know, I find it very interesting with this band. I feel like they can blow up for sure if they put their songs on TikTok, or if I talk about it, or hopefully I can help out. I just know that this band is very fantastic, and I'm really into what they got going on, and that's why they're on my list. Combining the two visions from that first album and their shoegaze stuff would be awesome. It would kind of remind me of bands like Full Body 2, and you guys know how much I love Full Body 2. Talking about all these bands that I find and I wasn't really familiar with is very exciting, because new music, new bands, new visions. Yeah, sometimes it might get repetitive with the genre or a specific subgenre that I talk about, but I still find it interesting because there's different songs, different lyrics, and sometimes bands kind of want to switch it up and do something else, and I always think that's awesome. But yeah, shout out Salt Plus. They have a cool name, and I took off my jacket and I have canes in the background. Next up is the band Citrus, and this band is also in that new shoegaze realm like I talked about with Salt Plus. I think it will be very interesting to see how they are moving forward. I feel like once they write an album, have an album out, a lot of people will be singing their tunes and remembering their songs, and that's kind of how I'm envisioning Citrus's path. They only have a couple songs out, and you know, with me, that's not really a problem. I say that all the time, literally all the time. To this day, no problem, because I just see the vision from the few songs, and sometimes they might not catfish you, but they might have a good song, and moving forward, they might be trash. But with Citrus, I feel like there's just that, oh my God, what the hell did I just say? There's just that certain vibe with Citrus that I feel like they're going to be consistent moving forward. And whenever that album drops, I don't know when, but a lot of potential within this band as well. I like the way that this band curates their presentation and just overall look of the band with the with the songs that they have out and the cover of those songs on Spotify. Jesus, what am I saying? Man, I sound exactly like Alexa, but I'm not Alexa. Here's some wicked detail. JK, she has wicked detail as well. I'm just talking smack. I understand if you listen to Citrus and you feel like there's just that repetitive shoegaze, modern shoegaze sound where it's like, what are they offering? What's new? But to me, I still get some sort of excitement to it, because the more bands that come up and use a recipe, and you know, I know they're using a recipe just like a lot of bands are, the more I feel like a bunch of people will either learn from their not own mistakes, but they'll learn from what they like, and then they'll just continue to grow, and people will be left behind. Some people will achieve greater heights, and I think Citrus will achieve just that. Now, I know you're watching this video and thinking, damn man, this dude just talks about the same genre. Where's the aggressiveness? Where's the bite? It's all bark, no bite. I'm talking about some hardcore bands now. I'm talking about the band Apex Predator. And for some reason, I can't really attach myself to a lot of hardcore bands whenever I'm listening to a new band, and I just feel like there's just this disconnect. But with Apex Predator, it was kind of instantly where I was like, okay, I get it. Okay. The riffage is insane right now. Apex Predator is a hardcore band from Washington, and it kind of just made me a fan right away. The band made me a fan right away. There's a lot to like with this band, and I know with hardcore as well, you might feel like things get repetitive. You kind of understand what you're getting into whenever you listen to a hardcore band. You're going to get crazy riffs. You're going to get yelling and screaming and this energy that a lot of different subgenres can't really capture, and love hardcore. And Apex Predator has everything and then some. Apex Predator released an album in 2023 called Jesus Wept, and the band from start to finish just completely showed you why they're pure annihilation. And that's what I love about this band, because they kind of just keep you on your toes even though you know what to expect, and that's kind of rare within a band. Most of the time you know what's coming, and you can't really get surprised, and you can't really just get swept off your feet, I guess. But Apex Predator really does a great job of utilizing a bunch of riffs, keeping you focused, keeping you within this energy, never feeling left out. And it's kind of this unison where it's like, okay, I feel a part of this. I feel real connected. And that's why I mess with Apex Predator. I do try to find a little bit more hardcore bands that are up and coming, and I feel like it's a little bit harder for hardcore for some reason. Whenever I try to find them online, it's just a little bit harder. But whenever I do come across some hardcore bands from different states and, just great songs, I gotta talk about it. And that's why I'm talking about it right now. I want to make another hardcore video, but I don't know what kind of hardcore video I could make. Interviewing a hardcore band would be very interesting, and I don't even know what band I would like to interview. I think any interview would be fun. Diving deep into a band's history, all that. You already know how an interview goes. I'm going to keep it short with this next band on my list. Moving on from hardcore, let's move back to a little bit of shoegaze, I guess. And this band just screams early 90s shoegaze in its purest form. Not necessarily My Bloody Valentine, but kinda with the vocals, not really the instruments. Still shoegaze though, and this is the band Luster. And Luster released a new single recently called Missing You. And I know with shoegaze, you mainly pay attention to the guitars and basically the main focus, but on this track, I focused a lot on the drums, and that doesn't really happen with me all the time, but for some reason, the drums just stood out a ton, and I was just in the rhythm, and I was just like, oh my goodness, whoever recorded these, I know who recorded these. Shout out Photographic Memory, legend. And dude, this song rips. Love this song. It is so beautiful. It is so everything you would want a shoegaze song to be. And sometimes bands don't really market themselves correctly. Sometimes bands just don't have that sort of image and single release covers, or their the art covers and stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say. But this band does not miss. Luster does not miss. The image matches the music. And whenever that happens, you just have this fan base that is behind you, rocking, and the fan base will only grow from there. And I feel like that's a lesson a lot of bands should take nowadays. And I know that sounds so basic, but marketing yourself in a good way, having a cool image, or just that image you would want your band to be. And that sounds very label-y, or like a record label, I don't know, but that's just kind of how I look at it. If you want more people to listen to you, stop with the shoegaze, stop with the alternative rock new gaze, stop it, Ricky, stop it, dumb toes, please stop it. Okay, it's time to talk about some screamo, and I'm talking about the band Party Hats. I needed a screamo band in here, and the more I listen to screamo, the more I just am infatuated with the way these people make the music and just have this chemistry within their bands, each respective band, and what they do with their albums, what they do with their EPs. It's very fun to me. I guess screamo just has a bunch of ingredients that I love within other bands. Like there's some Sunny Day Real Estate within screamo. There's some Helmet in terms of the screaming. There's just some, I don't know, there's just a bunch of stuff within it. I know it's just aggressiveness and pretty riffs, but I can find just these inklings of influences, and it's just very fun to me. It's very beautiful. What a beautiful thing. And Party Hats, a very fantastic band, very fantastic screamo band that reminds me of a bunch of summer sunny days with that sorrow in the back of your mind in the best possible way. So I love every part about this band, but I think the riffs are really standout-ish. And what I mean by that is that they stand out. They're very in your face, but in the most math rocky way possible. And I guess you can call it math rock. I guess that's some of screamo, Midwest emo in general. They have some storytelling moments within their lyrics. They have these start-stop riffs and drums, and they're just together. And the more that they're together, the bigger that they sound. And I feel like this band isn't the loudest band, if you know what I mean, in terms of like the riffs. They're not huge, fuzzy, distorted riffs hitting you in the face. But once that band just gets into it and they're together, and oh man, I just feel like there's so much chemistry going on whenever I listen to this band and everything that they have out. Well-made, well-crafted sound that they have created within Party Hats, and a lot of people should be listening to them. They need more love. I think screamo in general needs more love, and I understand why people don't like it. It might be aggressive when you first listen to it, and yeah, to me, it's beautiful. The last band on my list, which kind of seems like a short list. Sorry if this is a short video, but last band on my list is Otherside. And you guessed it, another shoegaze band, but it's only right I end it with the proper shoegaze band, whatever that means. Otherside is from Japan. They're a Japanese 5-piece shoegaze band, and they have completely immersed themselves into the shoegaze realm and world. I love their EP Season, Everblue, and again, they have that very, not performative, but their album art and EP art, single art, is very directed towards a certain group of people that want to listen to this music. It's very well crafted. It's very everything in a positive way. This band does know what they're doing, and it's just fun to see a different country that does this music as well. I know it didn't start in America, but a majority of the popular shoegaze bands that are coming up right now are from United States. So love the music. Music is good everywhere. Shout out Otherside. And that is the end of my video. Again, sorry it's very short. Sorry there's less Alexa in here, but she wants to educate herself, like I said, and give you guys the best possible video. These videos are always fun to make because I just love finding new music. Love all these new bands that I come across and the music that's good. I really do appreciate the people that are also watching these videos as well, because man, I really appreciate, I appreciate everybody here, you know? We almost have like 10,000 subscribers, which is kind of crazy. I know we barely hit over 5K, which we're at like 6K, but I don't care. That's almost 10K. And then after 10K, 1 million. It's not about the number though. It's just about the group of people who are fans of music, and I guess that's a number, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just happy that you guys love what I'm talking about. You guys leave a bunch of positive comments all the time, and I'm just like, damn, am I really that important? You guys are just spreading a lot of love, and I want to reciprocate that love as well. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. Underground will never die. Let me do what Alexa does.